And so what you end up with is, wait for it,
I've stumbled onto a major company conspiracy, Mac.
you've shortcutted the first couple of steps, you end up back at the conspiracy theory, and now you're in a spiral. Now you're in a never-ending spiral. More conspiracy theories requires more collective power, requires more discretionary power, which leads to more conspiracy theories, more collective power, more discretionary power, and so on. And that's how freedom dies, through the power of collective conspiracy theories.
You know what, Barney? Give this guy a cigarette. He's freaking out.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering, and wow, I mean, things are kind of heating up in the commentary space on the corporate side. Obviously, we had everything that went on with Crowder yesterday, or I mean last week, and there's actually a big update this week. And to be fair, I will also cover that, so it doesn't seem like I'm just ragging on Daily Wire, because again, there are personalities at Daily Wire that I do enjoy, and for the most part, I think that they're absolutely a net positive, and particularly when you look at, you know, their programming, their commitment to the Bent Key app with movies and programming that don't have, you know, various propagandistic properties. Even if you don't say, for example, like a movie that they made, it doesn't have to, you know, that's okay as long as it doesn't have like weird politics in it. Although Lady Ballers definitely was like right-wing comedy. But apparently there was an email leak, which I have not been able to verify. And I will say, in the interest of transparency, I have asked publicly twice now, and I have asked privately via DM from the source, and I have asked publicly from the source, and they have not responded with any evidence proving this is true. So I'm going to treat it as though it is fake. The interesting part is the reaction and the signal boosting that Candace Owens just did, which is suspicious. Now, it started with this email, it started with a rumor, right? That there was a big town hall meeting in Candace Owens' studio where they would basically convince people to hate Candace Owens. That's the claim, right? Right before they fired her. This claim was made by Censored Man. We follow each other on Twitter, and in all transparency, I DM'd him days ago to say, like, bro, can you forward me a little more of the image so I can actually see that it's an email? It looks just like a screenshot. We'll get into that. By the way, huge announcement tonight live. Two big announcements tonight on our 5:30 Eastern show, which we cover a whole separate set of news for the day, although we probably will talk a little bit about Daily Wire and Steven Crowder's lawsuit. But wherever you watch, if you want to stay on YouTube, that's 100% fine with me. Please follow the Quartercast channel and tune in tonight at 5:30 Eastern. If you want to support new tech and watch and follow, I'm so close to 200,000 subscribers on Rumble. Both will be linked in the description and pinned comment down below. Now, so there was this tweet put out on March 29th, which I think was Friday, saying, Candace Owens Daily Wire email leak. This was an email sent to employees at the Daily Wire informing them of the impromptu town hall Jeremy Boring, CEO, had organized. Employees were told not to bring cell phones to the meeting and that independent contractors would not be allowed to attend. At the town hall, Daily Wire leadership attempted to smear, now this is according to quote-unquote insiders, smear Candace Owens in an attempt to, I don't know, make the departure more palatable. Now, the interesting thing is, what I will say is, while Jeremy Boring and others at the Daily Wire have been very active talking about this in the past week, nobody from the Daily Wire has come out to say that this email is not true. So, you know, if you're already a fan of the Daily Wire, I can definitely see how it'd be easy to dismiss it. If you didn't like the Daily Wire, it'd be very easy to see how you'd say it was 100% accurate. So this is not, you know, great evidence. They said at the town hall, Daily Wire leadership attempted to smear Owens as an anti-Semite in front of their employees to justify her firing. Black bars hide personal details. So it's just this forward town hall today at 4 p.m. Central. Please note this is a private employee-only town hall, so please do not bring independent contractors along for the meeting. Also, leave your cell phones at your desk. No phones will be permitted at the town hall. And this email was allegedly sent March 19th at 1:04 p.m. for the same day at 4 p.m. Please join us for a mandatory town hall at 4 p.m. Eastern today at 90. I don't know what that means. Please make your way over in a timely manner and be sure to be seated by 3:45, 15 minutes ahead of time. Now, they blocked out who sent the email. And again, these are just images, and the text seems like it could just be in Microsoft Word, to be honest. It is not enough for me to say that this is real. That said, Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro have not debunked this. I have repeatedly asked, I know Daily Wire employees watch my videos, repeatedly ask anybody email me the actual original email to prove it's real. Nobody has. I asked Censored Man in DMs and publicly. He didn't even reply. They didn't even reply. So, I don't know. Now, Candace Owens retweeted this and said, I was not aware of this. Maybe me and Joe Rogan should get together and talk about it while pretending we're not talking about it. Now, that is, of course, very interesting. You see Censored Man here saying Candace Rogan needs to happen. So, Censored Man, no disrespect to whoever runs this account. I'm just saying they are clearly in Team Candace. I'm not saying that debunks what was said. I'm not saying it makes the email fake. I'm not saying it makes it real. I'm just saying I attempted to do some journalism and ask, bro, can somebody forward me this email? My requests were ignored. Now, I get you say, oh, well, you asked publicly, he maybe didn't see it. That's true, but I DM'd as well, and I asked publicly in my videos covering it. So if I see an email, I'll cover that. And you see, a lot of people in here. Last time Ben Shapiro went on Joe Rogan's, he said he'd debate someone on various stuff. It's interesting. Now, I don't think Joe Rogan's going to want to get in the middle of this. I wouldn't think so. But it's interesting. You see a lot of people talking about canceling their Daily Wire subscription. I don't know. Every time I cover this, there's more than a few people in the comments who, are supportive of Daily Wire. And I feel like I have been perhaps a little too harsh at times. And, I need to kind of say like, hey, this is, we don't know. We don't know what happened. Okay. We know what Candace Owens has told us, and we know what Jeremy Boring has told us, but we don't know behind the scenes what happened. Then you see this Daily Wire civil war. Matt Walsh destroys Ben Shapiro on his opinion on anti-Semitism. If someone hates Jewish people, they should be allowed to say so without any repercussions. It's time for a Walsh-Shapiro debate on this subject. Shapiro has maintained that anti-Semitism is, quote, not like any other racism, and that conspiracy theories must be included in the extremely broad definition. Walsh rejects and ridicules his anti-free speech position, indirectly targeting Abbott instead. Lauren Chen says support for Israel is more important to Daily Wire than Christianity, and accuses them of blacklisting and smearing people like Candace Owens as anti-Semites using mafia-type behavior. I'm not sure that the Daily Wire has smeared Candace. I know Ben Shapiro has said some things, right? Now, of course, this just days after Andrew Klavan announced that Candace Owens was fired due to things that she was saying that we felt were strongly anti-Semitic. Michael Knowles refused to speak on the issue except for that Candace is still a friend. I respect that position. I am friendly with other people who have, drama going on, and I understand. But you see this take from Matt Walsh, which I agree with.
In reality, to be anti-Semitic is to hate Jewish people because they are Jews. That's what anti-Semitism is. Everything that is not that is not anti-Semitism.
True.
You could say a lot of other things about Jewish people, that you could make a lot of other statements that are incorrect. You could even say things that are offensive. But unless they express that you hate Jewish people for being Jews, they're not anti-Semitic.
He's correct.
Just like being racist against a particular race means that you hate the members of that race because they are members of that race. And again, you could say a lot of other things about people of a certain race that maybe are incorrect. You could even engage in stereotypes. You could say you could have misapprehensions. You could have misunderstandings. You could say a lot of things. But unless you're expressing that you hate these people because they're members of that race, it is not racist. Now, I realize this is the narrowest, most limited definition of these terms, and it's also the only coherent and clearly delineated definition.
I agree. 100%.
If you expand it beyond these boundaries, you will quickly find that now there are no real boundaries and anything can be included.
100% right. And what I think is a valid thing that gets pointed out is that with this specific group, it's the same as the LGBTQ group, right? If you criticize the behavior of somebody who happens to be in that group, you are phobic, even if your criticism is valid and their orientation is irrelevant. This also seems to be true for some people's definitions of Jewish people. Now, again, I've talked about this before. I'm not a big, I don't have a lot of global geopolitical opinions other than, hey, I'd rather not give money so that other people can, build, can do terrible things with it. Keep the money here in America and help Americans who need it. And I get it. Just like Matt says, that is a very self-serving, limited definition, but it is also the truth. It is also how I feel. It has nothing to do with Jewish people as a race, and it has nothing to do with people in Ukraine or people wherever we're sending money. I don't want to be doing it unless it's literally for humanitarian aid. And even then, maybe someone else could foot the bill for once in my lifetime. All right. Matt perfectly basically says is, you can't do this. You can't just keep saying, well, there's a special set of rules, that would only apply to this particular group. And I think Matt's interpretation here is 100% right.
In reality, there's no denying that likely statements like that have been made on college campuses. Should there be an executive order or law prescribing punishments for such expressions? No, of course not.
Also in the news, you could see, obviously Jordan B. Peterson's gotten mixed up in this. And then you had the Hodge twins coming out. Now, again, full transparency. The Hodge twins are their own brand. I know they do some stuff with Crowder, but they're positively associated with Crowder, although they do stand on their own. They talk about the Hodge twins show their support for Candace Owens and call out Israel and call out the mass labeling of anti-Semitism.
This is about as tacky as when those Jews was coming out of the damn street, out of the subway. Well, not out of the subway, out of the sewer system. Yeah. Hey, I wonder why all them damn Jews was in a sewer system like that, with mattresses. Y'all have any comments on that? Y'all know Christ is king, right?
A bit of trolling, okay? A bit of trolling. But essentially, I don't know if this is from a live stream or whatever the case is, but this video was posted yesterday, and they're saying, hey, again, they're pointing out they have the same position I do. Like, hey, let's help Americans with, issues we have here. Why is it that when we criticize sending money to one particular nation, it's suddenly different? And they make the same argument, and I think in this video that's quite good, that criticism of Israel is treated the same as criticism as the LGBTQ community. In fact, more harshly so, but the same playbook. And I don't support that, and I don't think it should be that way. But you have the Hodge twins coming out here. You got Candace Owens threatening to go on Joe Rogan and talk about it and really blow the lid off of all of this. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please tune in tonight, live, 5:30 Eastern, either on my Rumble page, which is linked in the description, or on my YouTube live stream page. Hope to see you there, and we'll talk to you again real soon.